everybody, and welcome to another Interstellar Modeler. What we have here now is the completed Battlestar Pegasus kit. This measures 16.5 inches in length and is pretty awesome to look at. It definitely lives up to the name, the Beast. It dwarfs the Galactica for sure, and I'll show them side by side here shortly. So what I have left to do now is basically to weather the model. The model itself has been painted with Tester's metallizer steel color, and the darker accents here, or these other panels, were painted with the magnesium metallizer. And also completed detailing with the Pure Graphics kit. You can see here all along this middle section, these are the pieces that represent the tiny windows. But everything is looking pretty good here so far, and what I have left to do now is weathering. So the weathering is going to be done with a wash first of all, because I'm going to highlight the lines, the panel lines a little bit more, and then I'm also going to use pastels to dirty up the model a little bit, and so that should proceed pretty smoothly. What I'm going to do now is start with the wash, and we'll go from there. Alright, so the wash I'm going to be using here was created with this Vallejo pigments. It's a black color. Essentially, this is a fine powder that you can mix with water. And so it's been mixed here along with some dishwashing liquid. The dishwashing liquid will give it an easier way of flowing across the model and going into the areas that I want to darken up here. A wash can also be created just by using pastels. You don't have to use something like this here. You can just grind up some dark pastels on some sandpaper, and same thing, just mixing it with water and dishwashing liquid. So I'm ready to proceed here. I already started by darkening some of these lines here, and I'll just go along here and keep you apprised of my progress. Okay, so the process is a little tedious here, but I am continuing to apply the wash here to each of the panels separately. As you can tell, there are quite a few panels here to apply the wash to, so it's taking a little bit of time here. But you can kind of see here and appreciate the difference between a panel that has the wash applied to it versus one that does not. And so again, I painted the model this steel metallizer paint, and you can see how the wash is darkening up the model a little bit here. Not only is it doing that, though, it is also nice because it allows the detail to come out even further. You can see, for example, where these two little tanks are here, the wash accumulates in between the crevices and the spaces there, and allowing the detail to show up even further. So I'll continue to apply the wash to the rest of the kit, and then I'll be using pastels to darken some of the some other areas up. Alright, so I'm getting ready to apply the pastels now, and so I took some black pastel and ground it onto this sandpaper here. Now, the great thing about this model is there are a lot of nice angles here to take advantage of, and that's what I tend to do with pastels again, is really just to bring out more depth in the model and create more shadowing. And so I've just give you an example here. I already applied some along this spine section right here, and you can see how it's really darkening up the corners right here. There's a lot of nice angles to take advantage of in this model. I'll turn the model around to the other side, which does not have the pastels, and you can see it still get some shadowing there, but it's not as dark as the other side. So I'm going to continue to apply pastels along this spine section here, and really take advantage of these nooks and these different closed-in areas here to darken up and give it a bit more depth here. And then after that, I'll apply the decals for the Pegasus name here, and then there's one decal that goes here, and then we'll pretty much be done. And then I'll be sealing the model with a dull coat, and that will be it for Pegasus. So let me just go ahead and continue on here, and I'll continue to show you my progress. Alright, so moving right along here, it's coming along quite nicely. As I mentioned, I'm applying pastels along these corners here. That's always a good place to start, because what you want to do is just bring out more shadows and more darkness. So I've applied pastels along here and along here. And then the next thing you want to do is make the surface of the model look charred, because these of course are battleships, so they've been through a lot, And so I started with this area right here. You can see this darker area here, and really it's very simple to do that. You just take some pastels and you just blot it on the surface like so, and you just blow away the excess. And you can see as you pull away, that area really shows up there. And let me just turn the model to the other side here. You can see I've already done some of that on this side of the ship as well. So yeah, it's coming along quite nicely here, and almost done. I'm going to turn the model over here shortly and do the underside of the ship, and then I'm going to give it a coating to keep the pastels from coming off, and then we're pretty much done, again with the exception of just applying some decals there. So okay, and here we have the underside of the model, and just randomly just chose places to darken up, and you can see here how the pastels are making the surface look all charred and battle worn. Any place there was a clean spot, I basically applied pastels to dirty it up. So I'll pull away a bit here, and you can see how it really brings out a lot of shadows and a lot of depth to the ship. And so now I'm going to go ahead and apply the dull coat. And when you apply a dull coat, you want to stand a bit away from the model. You don't really want to concentrate the spray on any particular area, because the pastels are lying on the surface of the kit, and it'll make it run and not look right. So again, you want a light coat over the entire ship just to hold the pastels in place. Alright, so here we have the finished kit. What I'd like to do here is just take a second to show you a before and after. So this, of course, is the model now detailed with all the surface weathering that we did. And this, of course, is what it looked like beforehand. So hopefully in this video I've shown you with a little expense and a little effort, you can make your model look different here and give it some nice weathering and surface detail. Standing next to it, of course, is the Galactica. As promised here, they're sitting right next to each other. You can see how much bigger the Pegasus is. My hat's off again to Moebius for really giving us some nice kits here. These are excellent representations of these ships. Thanks again for watching. I always appreciate you joining me in these videos. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, and I will see you later in the next one. Thank you.